Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. All right, Bills fans, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the AFC East is always a battleground, full of surprises, strategic moves, and the kind of drama that keeps us on the edge of our seats. But right now, there's a story brewing that could shake things up in a way we haven't seen in a while. It involves the New York Giants, our division rivals, who are currently sitting at a disappointing 3-8 record, and their defense has been leaking points like a sieve, giving up an average of 31 points per game. They're also sitting on only about $15 million in cap space, plenty of room to maneuver, but with a lot of rebuilding to do, especially after their recent slump following Daniel Jones' struggles. This might seem like just another struggling team, but the buzz is that they're considering a bold move that could impact the entire AFC East, and that move involves none other than Brian Burns. Yes, Brian Burns, the elite edge rusher drafted back in 2019, has been generating a ton of buzz. And interestingly enough, there are whispers that the Giants might be open to trading Burns to the Bills for a second-round pick in 2026. That's a pretty significant offer, especially considering Burns' impact on the field. The Bills, coming off a solid 7-4 start and trying to solidify their spot in the playoffs, are looking for ways to boost their pass rush, especially after signing Brandon Cooks and dealing with injuries to players like Hardman and Palmer. With Palmer's ankle injury being questionable and Hardman on IR, Buffalo's need for a dynamic pass rusher is more urgent than ever. Burns could be that guy. He's a speedster, a true Panther on the field, who's known for his relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, and his addition could give us that extra edge we need to make a deep playoff run. Now let's dig into Burns himself. The guy has a 7-year career filled with impressive stats: 200 solo tackles, 100 assists, 60 sacks, and around 400 pressures. Not to mention 12 forced fumbles, and a PFF grade averaging close to 89, which is elite. His win rate is around 19%, and he produces an EPA per pressure of about 0.24, showing that he's consistently effective when rushing the passer. In 2025, Burns has already racked up 5 sacks in just 10 games, along with 52 sack yards and 2 forced fumbles. He's a game wrecker who, when healthy, despite a shoulder injury in Week 3, comes back stronger, boosting the Giants' pressure efficiency by around 14%, with sacks per game climbing to nearly 0.85. Burns is that kind of player who can hunt down QBs with lethal grace, mimicking a predator stalking its prey, making him a nightmare for offensive lines. But why would the Giants be willing to give up such a talent? Well, cap space is a big factor. They have about $15 million to work with, but with Thibodeaux's extension looming, they need to free up some room. Plus, the Giants are prioritizing their offensive line to protect Jones and develop their offense, which means they might be willing to part with Burns to focus on rebuilding in other areas. Still, losing Burns would be a blow. His sack numbers have dropped from about 35 to 26 last season, and he's a true king of rushing the passer. The Panthers, who traded him away in 2024, saw a similar drop in pressures after his departure, which underscores just how valuable Burns is when he's on the field. Now, think about what this means for the Bills. Adding Burns to our front seven would be a game changer. With Von Miller still making waves and the potential to combine him with Burns, the Bills could suddenly jump from a solid pass rush to one of the league's most feared units. We're talking about a potential increase of around 22 total sacks, pushing us from 38 up to nearly 60. That's a massive upgrade. Plus, Burns' speed and ability to pressure the quarterback would help us cut down on the big plays and extend our defensive dominance. The numbers speak for themselves. Pressure rates could jump by close to 19%, and our overall points allowed could drop from around 21. 2 points per game to closer to 17. That's a huge step toward becoming a true playoff and Super Bowl contender. And let's not forget the impact on our offense. With a more aggressive pass rush, our defense could force more turnovers, possibly a 3-turnover differential per game, and give Josh Allen even more opportunities to extend drives and make magic happen. Burns would also complement our existing pass rushers, like Rouso, with whom he'd form a terrifying duo. Our pressures per game could see an increase of about 2.8, and our win rate in rushing the quarterback could jump by around 1.6%. That would significantly ease the pressure on our secondary and help us get off the field faster on third downs, a crucial factor in tight games. Now, some might wonder about the risks. Trading for Burns isn't without its uncertainties. There's always a chance that the Giants might ask for more than just a second-round pick, or that Burns might not adapt immediately to our system. But with the Bills' coaching staff known for developing defensive talent and our strong culture of winning, the chances are good that Burns could be a seamless fit. Plus, the NFL is all about upgrading your roster and seizing opportunities. If we can land Burns, it's not just about adding a player, it's about raising the entire team's ceiling. His addition could be the spark that propels us into the Super Bowl conversation, especially considering how close we've been the past few years. Looking ahead, the betting odds are starting to reflect this potential move. Early Super Bowl odds are shifting from plus 1,200 to around plus 700, echoing the kind of boost that teams like the Chiefs experienced when they made bold moves. Burns' presence could make the Bills a true dark horse in the playoffs, especially with his clutch performance metrics, an EPA per clutch play of around 0.38, which is elite. Our chances of making a deep run in the AFC could jump to around 38%, with ESPN's edge metrics favoring us more than ever, possibly boosting our playoff odds to 45%. And of course, our division rival Dolphins are still lurking, but with Burns on our side, that matchup suddenly becomes even more in our favor, with betting odds favoring us at plus 550 in their games. So, in a nutshell, this potential trade for Brian Burns isn't just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could redefine our team's trajectory. It aligns perfectly with the Bills' current window of opportunity, giving us a dynamic edge rusher who can lead our defense into the postseason with confidence. This move would also send a clear message to the rest of the league, that the Bills are serious about competing at the highest level and aren't afraid to make bold moves to get there. It would cement our status as a team that's not just aiming to make the playoffs, but to dominate and contend for that elusive Super Bowl title. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Burns trade? Do you think it's the move that takes us over the top? Or are you skeptical about giving up a second-round pick for a player who might need time to adapt? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Remember, this season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. And with moves like this, we could see a team that's built not just for the regular season, but for the ultimate goal, the Super Bowl. So stay tuned, keep the passion alive, and let's see how this story unfolds in the coming weeks. We'll be here every step of the way, bringing you all the latest updates and insights about our beloved Bills. Because when it comes to Buffalo football, we don't just cheer, we live it.